Hello, let's continue our advanced Sudoku series with Oranges by Jovial. This is puzzle number 6 of chapter 2 of the Sudokult Gospel document, which you can find in the description. I know what technique we're looking for and how it works. Otherwise, this is a live solve. I haven't solved this puzzle before. And so, yeah, there's a link in the description if you want to try it yourself first. And then I'm going to get started right now. All right, let's get as much basics as we can out of this puzzle before we continue. Although these corner boxes are screaming, "Hey, look at me! Hey, look at me!" So, let's look at them first. Actually, okay. So, like one thing I'm seeing is we have this 2 here. That forces 2 to be in one of these 2. I'm gonna use colors to represent that this is a bilocal in the row rather than being in the box. Yeah, we have this 4, this 6, and this 8. It's very much intentional. So the 4 is in one of these 2. The 6 is in one of these 2. And then the 8 is in one of these 2. Just pick random colors for those. Yeah, so just right away, we can see that we have a, what was this called? An L ring? Another L ring. We had this earlier. So let me go over how this works again in case you missed it last time or you haven't watched the other video. But I'm assuming you kind of know the concept of strong weak links. I'll give you a little bit of I'll go over the logic regardless. But when we say we have a strong link, I'm going to draw that as it's a strong link. So I'm going to draw it as 2 lines here. 2 in this row is in only 2 places, which means that one of these cells must have a 2 in it. Hopefully that's clear. That's called a strong link. At least one of them being true, that's a strong link. We can't have both of them be untrue. We can't eliminate 2 from both of these cells or there'd be nowhere for 2 in the row. So that's a strong link. At least one is true. I also have a strong link between these 4s. At least one of these 4s is true. And in fact, in these cases, exactly one is true, but we only need the at least, not exactly. At least one of these 6s is true. And at least one of these 8s is true. Okay, and you can notice that we kind of have this loop, but it's not a loop yet because these strong links aren't connected to each other. They share cells, but they don't share candidates, and candidates are what these are against, right? It's the 4s that have a strong link, not the 2 cells. It's the 4s in those 2 cells that have a strong link. That's why I drew them to those numbers. But we do have weak links. This 2 and 8, there's a weak link between them, and hopefully that's clear why. If you know what a weak link is, a weak link means up to 1 is true. You can't have both true. We can't have both a 2 and an 8 in a single cell. That breaks Sudoku rules. So within a cell, there's always a weak link between all the candidates in those cells. So there's a weak link between the 2, 4, there's a weak link between the 4, 6, and a weak link between the 6, 8. And that's all we need to form our loop. We have an alternating inference chain that loops back around to the start, and it starts with a strong link and ends with a weak link. That's called a continuous nice loop also. It's a generic pattern that you can find. Is if you can find anything where you loop back to the start and end with a weak link, that is a continuous nice loop. The effect of the continuous nice loop, do you remember? If not, or if you haven't seen this before, the effect is all of the weak links become strong links, which then has an effect. And the reason they're strong links is that we cannot make both this 2 and this 8 false. The weak link says that's perfectly fine, but our continuous nice loop says it's not fine. So let's prove that we need either 2 or 8 true. Let me just use black for this. That should be fine. So let's just cross out this 2 and say, hey, the 2 is not true. What is the effect on this loop? Well, if the 2 is not true, then that means this 2, it has to be true because one of these 2s is true. That's the strong link. If this 2 is true, that means this 4 cannot be true. We can't put both a 2 and a 4 in the cell. That's the weak link. If this 4 is not true, that means this 4 must be true because one of these 4s must be true. Well, if this 4 is true, the 6 is not true. Can't put a 4 and a 6 in the same cell. Well, if this 6 is not true, then this 6 is true, which makes this 8 not true, which makes this 8 true. So what we have proven is if this 2 is not true through this entire loop, this 8 becomes true. And now we can go backwards and we can prove the opposite. So what we've proven is 1/2 of our strong link, that if 2 is not true, 8 must be true. So if 8 is not true, that's our other option. That means this 2 must be true. That's what we're going to try to prove. So if the 8's not true, this 8 must be true. Here, that 8 must be true. So this 6 is not true, which means this 6 must be true. So this 4 is not true, which means this 4 must be true, which means this 2 is not true, which means this 2 must be true. So if 8 is not true, we go this way through our continuous nice loop, and we prove this 2 is true. So we've now proved that this weak link becomes a strong link. And you can do that to every single weak link, because it's a loop, you can always go one way and then the other way to prove that one of those two ends of the weak link is always true, which turns those weak links into strong links. So what does it mean to turn a weak link into a strong link? Well, what does a strong link do? A strong link, in general, if you can prove a strong link between two candidates, that means that any weak link coming from both of those candidates that arrives at the same cell is eliminated. What do I mean by that? Well, if 2 is true and 8 is true, let's think about this cell. Just give me a second to close down my, there we go. So let's look at this cell. What could this cell be? If we just pencil its options, well, it could be 2, can't be 3, 4, 5, could be 6, can't be 7, could be 8, could be 9. So we're saying this can be 2, 6, 8, or 9. But there's a strong link between the 2 and 8, which means that any candidate in the grid that both the 2 and 8 eliminate, those cannot be true. In that case, that's the 6 and the 9 in this cell. If this cell has to be 2 or 8, it can't be 6 or 9. If I try to put a 6 here, it now can't be 2 or 8, and that has violated my loop. So this, we can eliminate 6 and 9 from the cell. So basically, within a cell, if you have a strong link, at the very least, it makes it a bi-value cell, right? So this is 2 or 4, this is 4 or 6, this is 6 or 8. Whatever they could have been before, they can't be, other than those values. And now I think I'm pretty safe to just remove my colors and my corner marks here. So those are our first pencil marks in the whole grid, is these bi-values. Let's see how that affects their rows and columns. I think that's going to be interesting, because that's clearly what we're meant to do. So the rest of this row, other than 2, 4, and 8, what does this row need? It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It needs a 6. The 6 is in one of these two. It has 7. It needs an 8 and a 9. No, it has the 8's over here. It needs a 9. 9's in one of those two. Okay. Let's look at this column. It needs a 1. It has a 1, 2, 3, 4. It needs a 5 over here. It has the 6, 7. It needs an 8. Ah, the 8 is placed. Very nice. Do we follow up on this 8? I don't think there's anything amazing to follow up on. Okay. This row has 1. We need a 2. The 2 is placed. We have 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 7 and 8 here. So this is, oh, the 8 is accounted for. 7's down here, though. And then this column, we do need a 1. That's down here. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We need a 9. 9's up here. Okay. Interesting that we got this 2, but we didn't get anything up here. Okay, now I think I should just do normal scanning from here. Let's start up here. So 1's look in, so we have a 1 in one of these two. 7's look into here, so 7's in one of these two. Oh, these 7's line up with these 7's. So where does 7 go in this column? Because it's not here and it's not here. These 7's claim the box, right? So 7 in this column is only here. We can place that 7. Does that help anywhere else? Yes, that kind of helps. Yeah, we have a 7 one of these two. I guess we already knew that. Okay, keep scanning. We got the 7. Ah, this 6 looks in here, so that's a 6. I was thinking this should do something. This is, oh, and that places this 6. Very nice. This is a triple. We need a 1. We have 2. We need 3. We have 4. We need 5. Okay. Nice triple. These 5's line up. Oh, we already have a 5 there. Okay. These 1's line up. We have a 1 there. Okay. This row, we might as well just put 2, 4, 8, 9, right? I was noticing this 2, 4 here. Okay, 1, 3, 5, triple. This is a triple here. What is this? We need a 1. 2, 3, we need 4, 5. Okay. Actually, speaking of 5s, these 5s look in. So 5's in one of these two. These 9s look in. Ah, and this 9 looks down. So we get the 9 and the 5. That's not a 5. It gets us this 8. That finishes our loop. That's 2, 4, 6, and 8. Nice. That was the one of 2 ways that could have resolved. That's a 9. Okay, this is going well now. This is a triple, and that's a pair. Let's do the pair first. It's 2 and 5. Yeah, it's resolved. That's 3, 1, and 5. That resolves the 1 and the 9. This is resolved for the column. It's a something. It's a 6. That's what I said, something. All right. I think this puzzle's already collapsed. Like super simple once you find that technique. We got 1, 2, 3. We need a 4. That's over here. Sorry, we need 4. We have 5. We need 6 and 7. Oh, the 6 tells us where the 6 goes. That's 6 and 7. These aren't 6s. This pair is, we need a 2 and a 3, it looks like. So we know the order. So that 3. Over here, we need a 3 as well, and we need a 9. Okay. Really just plonking digits. Okay. What else do we need here? How about this box? We need 1. 1 is placed. That's a 4. That's a 1. Because this 1 was looking in and this 1 was looking down. All right. We need the 7. What else do we need? We need a 4. 4 is in one of these two. 7 and 8. The 8's placed. That's 8, 4, and 7. Okay, so that's a 7. We need a 5 here. Okay, that stack's done. I think we just need to look at what these boxes need. This box needs a 2. Let's just fill it out. We need a 2, 3, 4, 5. We need 6, 8, and 9. Huh. I thought this would just be singles. That's okay. What does this box need? We need a 5, 6, 8, 9. That's a 6, 8 pair, so that's a 9 and a 5. That's not a 9. That places this 9. Okay, what does this box need? Does the 6 help? The 6, 8 looking down. This 6 looks in. Yeah, that's a 6. Oop, sorry. Clicked the wrong button. What do we need here? This is 4 or 7. Can't be 7. So that's 4. That's 7. That's 4. This is now a pair at best, or at worst, I mean. I keep saying that the wrong way. We need a 2 and a 7 here. So that's the 7. That's the 2. What is this? Okay, let's do these pairs. We need a 1 here. That's there. We need an 8. That gives us the 6, the 2, and the 8. The 8 and the 6. And then down here we need a 2 and a 4. They go like that. Wow. Thank you, Jovi, for making a quick puzzle that uses an advanced technique. I really enjoyed that. Could just do it right from the start, and it was pretty clear that we were meant to do that from the start. So neat. I don't know how much of this puzzle solves without that, but it certainly solved very quickly and easily with it. So very cool. Hope you enjoyed this as well. And if you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.